Hello and welcome to episode 1 of the EmberPelts on the mountain range map, I believe is what it was. Um, it's been a minute since we've played Timberborn. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we have on this map. Other than, we have water source right here. That's going to be an issue come bad tides. If we dam it off upstream, this one's going to become an issue. So that's something we have to pay attention to. Blockages there. Why do we have blockages there? I'm not seeing anything obvious yet. Ooh. Okay, so that could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. Take out that blockage, and we have a little bit more arable land. But, you know, bad water. Let's see, what else do we have? Those are our water sources. Do we have any more good water sources? No, we do not. But getting over here might be worth it at some point. We have a relic over there. I'm not seeing anything that's going to hurt us anytime soon. Like I said, we need to get over here, take out that blockage and that blockage, and maybe get some more arable land, but that's about it. However, to do so, we need to get rid of this bad water source. Or do it on a... Well, we're going to have to get rid of that bad water source because, I guess we could redirect that bad water source this way temporarily. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. Let's go ahead and maybe dam it off here so that we can get some fresh water. Well, I don't know. That's a lot of water. But yeah, I think we dam it off here at this level right here, and go from there until we can get up here and get rid of those blockages. That said, we are playing the EmberPelts. We do have a couple mods, including the slope mod, dirt mod, which gives us access to the slopes, which gives us a little bit earlier access to stairs, we'll say, than normally would have. Slopes are unlocked. However, slopes require dirt. Our way to get dirt is through the lumber mill right now, which means we have to get the lumber mill built and switch it over to lumber and dirt, or just dirt. But we're going to put it on lumber and dirt for now, which also means we need to get our compact water wheel in here. Eventually, we will go ahead and build the others. For now, I'm going to build that like that. Let's go ahead and throw this in so we have a way to get across there and across there. These will be temporary. We'll go ahead and delete those once the water mills are built. Which, actually, I probably should just go ahead and build those 3 and get all 4 of those water mills. That said, these are going to be low priority. We need to get our beginning structures in first, which are water pumps, lumber mills, which we'll put it here, maybe here, and we'll put another one here. biggest priority, second biggest priority, is going to be food. So let's go ahead and put that there, and this here. And get these pathed in. Ooh, I put that in the wrong spot. Let's get these paths built. And move this guy since I put it in the wrong spot. There we go. Mark some trees for cutting. And I think down here we're going to, excuse me, do the, excuse me, do the checkerboard pattern so we can at least get started with some trees and have them replant themselves while we're waiting on the forester. The reason I am doing this is full-grown trees will spawn new trees if they are not marked for planting, and the land next to them is available for new trees. So let's go ahead and try to get some new trees growing while we wait for access to the forester. Now that that's done, let's go ahead and also throw in our first inventor's hut. We're going to put it there so we still have access to everything else. Double check our priorities. Low priority. This needs to be a low priority as lower priority. That should be a high priority. That should be a high priority. As should that. And one more thing before we unpause. Let's wait on that. Put a warehouse there and some water storage here. Get that set to water. Copy those settings over to this. Get this set to berries. And I guess I will go ahead. I wasn't going to, but I'll go ahead and put a wood storage right there. Okay. All said and done. Let's go ahead and hit play. I'm wondering why that's saying I don't have access. Did I? Oh, that one I didn't place the right way. This one, I didn't place the right way. Okay. I thought I had that the other way around. Let's go ahead and fix this. Still have access to most trees there. Go ahead and do that instead. And that there. Perfect. This is going to be priority workplace and priority construction site, just so we can go ahead and get that built. We are getting some berries in. Since we have this here, we have all the way up to here. So let's go ahead and throw in some basic crops. Let's go ahead and throw in some basic crops. Let's see, this has all the way down to here, so we're good to go ahead and plant a lot of radishes for now. We'll plant some tomatoes. Let's go ahead and plant some tomatoes actually now, because they are also a raw vegetable that our friends can eat. We will also go ahead and put in some storage for those. Let's see, radishes are this one? Yes, and tomatoes. That's apples. Tomatoes. Okay, there we go. I should probably go ahead. Ooh, wait. I just realized I never put this in. We'll put that there. And throw in a couple more paths so we can get up to here. And eventually get rid of these. And I know I shouldn't have to do this, but just so we don't get any friends trapped, we'll go ahead and mark that high to low and go from there. Again, once we get this redirected, which should be good, the question is going to be, how do we redirect these guys? Because when we get our first bad water, or bad tide, these two are going to be an issue. I mean, it's kind of looking like we need to redirect it this way, which can be done. Again, we just need to get some beavers up here, take this out, and then we can either redirect it from here over or from here down. I have to think about that to see which way is going to be the cheaper option. Either way we look at it, we are going to have to get some, well, eventually get some automation in. Oh, they actually did plant those. I wasn't sure if they would or not. Now, I know I said I would take this out. I am playing the EmberPelts, however, and they do not like to get wet, let alone contaminated, so this is going to have to wait. Once I get rid of this, and we can do that on a drought, will be good. But again, we need power. You do not need to be in there until we get power. Thank you. We'll do that. I do need to get some we'll put our housing over here for now. Good thing is, this is the EmberPelts. Well, they need stairs to build this, but they can access it internally. So I'll need to figure out a way to get that built up from the outside. However, for now, we're good. Well, good-ish, I guess. I probably should go ahead and put a second one. should support us for a little bit at least. I can build this one and access them from inside, so that gives us room for 12 beavers, which is not enough. And I have a beaver with nothing to do? Oh. That's not acceptable. Let's go ahead, copy that. We need some more water storage. I can already tell you that. There we go. That might help for a little bit. Berry storage is not quite full. Radish storage and tomato storage not full. Oh, they actually can reach those from inside. I was not sure that they could, which means that we have plenty of housing for our beavers. We have 12 there, 12 there, so we have 12, 24, and we have 13 beavers. We're good. And our beavers are happier than they've ever been. That is good to know. Looks like we are starting to get some radishes in too. I think I clicked on the wrong menu. We'll go ahead and put a second farmhouse in here. There we go. And this one will be set to harvest, that one to plant, and once we get this built, we'll reduce this one down. I think I'm going to reduce the priority on those ones. So that we can get other things built, such as this. I need some power. Now, like I said, we have the dirt mod, which allows us the option of the normal recipe of 1 log equals 1 plank, or 5 logs and 2 waters equals 10 planks and 1 dirt. And finally, we have 2 logs plus 1 water equals 1 dirt. I'm going to settle for this one, which I believe is the better of the options. 2 logs per, or 1 log for every 2 planks. So I believe that's the better option. So we'll go ahead and do that now that we have power. And let's get this reduced because I don't like seeing that one. So there we go. Our friend there is now looking for some work. So let's go ahead, throw in a log pile. Oh, yeah, log pile. A plank pile. And a dirt pile. This guy is out of work, so we'll get rid of that. And it actually looks like we are out of logs up here as well. But we have the ability to unlock the forester already, so let's do so. Now that we should be getting a plank or 2 in, and get this built. And we can get some of this replanted. And I'm kind of prefer to, have the oaks closer to the forester so they get planted first. And plant some birch further away with some pine in the middle. This is my preference, so that these get planted first, the pine second, and the birch third. Basically is how I look at it. But we will mark all for cutting, including these oaks over here. I don't believe I have anyone that can reach it, but we will put this in here, so that should allow them to reach that once this is built. Although, now that I've planted this, I've pretty much gotten rid of the one way to redirect water off the map, or redirect bad water off the map over there, but I just noticed this. If I were to, that's a pretty big ask this early in the game, so we'll stick with throwing it off this way for now. I just need to figure out how to get there, because I need to get a set of floodgates here, well, actually here, and then build a dam all the way down to here, which actually I should say levees all the way down to here, so I can get it directed that way, temporarily at least. We have our first drought coming, so this would be the time to get our beavers over here. Well, shortly will be the time to get our beavers over there, but I need to think about the first bad tide. We are playing normal, so the first bad tide won't be terrible. And I do have access to these guys now, so let's go ahead, do that. Let's see. That would get us up there, like so. Yeah, that works. I need to figure out a way to get stairs over there. So let's do this. And one thing about the dirt mod is the slope is only available on ground tiles. So I would not be able to build the slopes on that those levees I just built. I will have to eventually unlock stairs. So we'll go ahead and do that. And wait until we have the 50 more science points so we can get these stairs built. Until then, what are we waiting on? Logs. I did mark everything for cutting now, didn't I? Yeah, so we're just waiting for them to be cut. Ooh, that's right, and where the oaks meet the pines. So let's go ahead and put oaks there. We are doing okay on radishes. Doing okay on tomatoes as well, so okay. Half a day until the drought starts. 235 water, we should be okay. We have some broken teeth, so let's go ahead. Well-being. Grind stone. We'll put it back in here. And we have the start of our first drought, which means you can get paused. While we wait for these trees to go in. 2.5 days. That's not, or 2 days. It's not gonna be terrible. But let's go ahead and get that done. And I'm also going to put in something I should have done a while ago. A second lumberjack, so that we can get those done and reduce that by 1. Leave that where it's at. Where is... I guess I can pause this for now. We are playing the EmberPelts, so we don't require berries, but it would be nice to have some. So we'll just go ahead and pause it for now. We have 30 berries in storage, so we should be good. These guys, let's go ahead and reduce you by 1. Yeah, we'll reduce you by 1. You're harvesting, you're planting. I think actually everyone's going to be planting right now, just so we can get these radishes harvested before the end of the, or before they die. How much dirt do I have? I have none yet, so I'm not going to worry. Oh, that's because they're building these. So yeah, we're good. We are full on our radish storage. I'm going to do this. Just be on the proactive side. Let's see, we have logs going there and there. So everyone should be okay as far as logs go. I'm going to make these a higher priority. So that we can get across the river and save some water. The wonderful drought has ended. Here comes our water again. Slowly. What does it take? Half a day? Just a quarter of a day. But it starts off with bad water, so we need to get this blocked off sooner rather than later. And to do so, we need to get up there, which will require dirt from this guy. Do we have the science points for this? Yes, we do. This will go here. But what I don't have the science for is the floodgates. Being that we have the EmberPelts, I'm going to try and save up. That takes metal, though. I would like to save up for this one. just so I don't have to build the extra um, blocks to get across here. But it's not really feasible yet. So I guess we'll have to just go with these across here once I get the science points. Oh, look at that. The first of our dams are in. Now I'm hoping that the water mechanics in this game don't mess with that. Because I am taking it down from five edges to four. So I'm hoping it's not going to be an issue when we get this dam built. We'll see. That is good to see that we have plenty. Ooh, we have more tomatoes than we know what to do with, too. Very nice. That's one of the reasons why we put two farms in. Eventually, we'll go ahead and put stairs down here so we can access this area as well. But that's going to be a minute or two. The rest of this map's going to be interesting. How do we... I mean, I can see how we get some metal there. I wonder why these briars are here, or thorns. Any good reason? I don't see one. Let's see. There's the closest metal, I believe, is right there. Yeah, this could be the closest metal. So, probably end up putting in some water wheels here to power a smelter, large smelter or regular smelter, just depends. The large smelter does take metal blocks, which means we have to build a small smelter first. That tends to be the way that things go. We have the large lumber mill, which takes planks. We have the large gear workshop, which takes gears. So you can't just start with the larger of the two. This guy, yeah, we got plenty of horsepower, so we're good there. Right here probably would have been a better place to put this, but I think we're good for now, at least. And, I'm going to save you guys a little bit of time, so we'll come back to this once the next cycle starts. And we return with just under a day left before the next drought starts. Unfortunately, we were not able to get our reservoir dam built in time. We ran out of wood, so here we go. Everything dries up again. But at least we have some of our trees planted and they are harvestable at this point. You can see that, well, we had some pines planted. There we go. We're planting that line back in. But everything is now drying out. So, again, another 3-day drought. We have 11.8 days before this goes dry. However, uh, they will not grow for these 3 days, which kind of sucks. I'm going to go ahead and pause these guys. That gives us 2 free beavers. We'll put them in here so we can get this stuff harvested before the next season starts, cycle starts, and they get killed by the bad tide that's going to come through before the good tide. But I was really hoping we could have gotten this built so I could get to these oaks before this happened. I should pause these 3 guys too, but I have no place to put them unless I were to do this, which still we can't put them here until we get some actually I should do it this way. We can't build these guys until we get some more lumber anyway. So let's just do this. And I guess technically I should put a lumber jack up here. Right about there. Looks good. Right there. Yes. Put it in there. Pad that up. And then mark all these trees for cutting. It won't give me much, but it'll give me something. This might be a good spot to go ahead and put a fluid dump at a future point in time when I have more water saved up. Speaking of water, let's go ahead and get this in place. Yeah. Flood walls, double floodgate, unlock, yes. And get the stairs in there. Now, again, the only reason I'm doing that is to not cheese the game by building in warehouses so that I can get this built across. But that said, this is going to take quite a bit of wood, so it's going to be a minute. Thankfully, some of our birches are coming in, and we are almost across this area here. So we get some of these oaks. They are marked for cutting, so let's go ahead and do that and that. Where are we at with dirt? We do not have any dirt right now. Oh, this is because this is paused. We can bring this down by 1, this down by 1, and this down by 1. Every workplace is now occupied. We'll probably bring this down again. Ooh, that's fluctuating. Oh, that's because of the bad water here. That's why. So we have our dam in now. Didn't seem to mess up anything, so that's good. That will save us a little bit of time come next drought, at least. We'll have a little bit longer growing season for the trees, at least. Not so much for the vegetables we need to get up here. I just don't know if we need... I think we need to get across here first. Honestly, we do. last bit of dirt should get delivered over here. Oh, no. I mean, this is a priority. It is a priority. Not over this, though. Got it. Since I put that down first, it technically takes priority over the other one. But doing that should help some. We have our last piece of dirt, and it is going all the way over to here. Now we just need someone to build it. Okay, that is in. I'm going to pause at least one of these for now. We have this one, so we should be okay. That allows them to go into the inventors, or excuse me, yeah, inventors. At least until we can get this done. And I just noticed I need to put that, and that in. I also just realized I'm not pumping any water. Which means we really need some more beavers. Because I have 5 empty workplaces, but no beavers. So let's see about getting this guy built up. And I think we're going to have to come back at the next cycle, or bad tide, drought, whatever it is. And we are back with just over a third of a day left until the next drought starts. I did go ahead and swap out a couple of these slopes for stairs, since we do have the stairs available now. And, well, we have more planks than we do dirt, so I figured it was probably best to go ahead and do that. We are at the start of this drought, so let's go ahead and pause you, and you. Gives us free beaver, so we'll go ahead and do that. And now that I think about it, let's go ahead and prioritize some of these. I'm going to take this guy out too, since we won't be able to complete that during the drought, but we can complete this. So let's go ahead and put that in. We're doing decently well over here. I'm not sure if I probably should prioritize some of this stuff. Like that, at least. I don't know if I should. Actually, I probably need to prioritize all of this. Because what's going to happen, we all know it, is that the first bad tide is going to hit at the end of this cycle. We just know it. It's cycle 4. I mean, it's only a 40% chance, but it's going to happen because we're not prepared for it. So we should go ahead and get that set up. As for this, everyone should be harvesting everything. I don't have any place to store it, so I guess we don't have to worry about that right now. I'm going to do that. Should be okay. We're good. The only reason I'm increasing that is I need to get this done. We could put one of these in. I just realized that's never been built. Logs and planks. Yeah, we got plenty of logs, plenty of planks, so we're good there. Excuse me. Yeah, that's still priority. Yeah, it's still priority. I was going to change it, but no, that's got to happen first. A bad tide, yeah, it'll wipe out our crops, but it's not going to kill our beavers. If this happens, it's going to kill everything. So I think that's the priority. I do need to at least get these guys done. But they're saying it's too far, so let's just do this. Prioritize that. Then that. Then that. Then that. And then that. I guess I really need to take care of this before this gets built up, or else everything's still going to flood. I probably should go ahead and build one of those two. Maybe that will work. We'll do it that way. I also will go ahead and do this, since we are at a point where we could use some more beavers. $110 water. We're almost out of the drought anyway, so let's go ahead and unpause these guys. Come on. I asked you to... these are higher priority. Why are you doing this over that? That is high priority. These are high priority for that matter. Why are you doing this over this? Yeah, that's lower priority. So why? Well, the drought has ended. I think we're safe for now. Here comes the bad tide and the good water. There we go, getting rid of those tendrils, and we are good. We've made it through another drought, and I believe we will catch up with these guys at the next cycle. Okay, so we came back a little early. I'm not sure how this happened, but this block was actually built before this one was. That's either a new game mechanic or a bug. I'm not sure which, honestly. I unfortunately didn't get back here in time to show the whole thing, but this one was definitely built before this one. I think Can I try that again? Let's go ahead, deprioritize this, and see what happens if the stairs get built before that does. The good news is one of these is out. And let's see. Well, we get plenty of logs. 160. Each of these takes 20, right? 12, excuse me. Yeah, we got plenty of logs. Do we have plenty of planks, though? Our builder's hut is done. Let's go ahead and do that. That's low priority. This is now going to be a low priority. Okay, so 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, where's our other 5 shortages? You're full, you're full. You're full. You are. 10, 14, 18. Okay. I'm just not sure where the other 2 are. Okay, it's right there. Never mind. Good news is we are all the way over to here, so we can get this taken out. And once we get that taken out, we'll put this in just like that. So hopefully that gets built first. Yep, there it is. Again, this block is built before this block. I don't know how that's happening. That's not supposed to be the way it goes. I think that's a bit of a bug. Maybe they'll fix it. Maybe they won't. I mean, it's a good bug to have, but still, it's going to cause things like that. Well, thankfully, we didn't get a beaver stuck, but will that ever get finished is going to be the question. I think they can build down through there, so we should be okay. However, I was going to say, are you guys going to do this ever? One of them is gone, so we'll go ahead and higher prioritize that, lower change the priorities there, I should say. Pause this guy, unpause this guy, get some more logs cut. Even though I think we're actually good for a minute. I mean, we still don't have any haulers, but we have 6 empty beds, so we should be getting a few more beavers here shortly. Nothing to do in range. Who's got nothing to do in range? You. Well, in that case, bye-bye. I'm going to not quite have that as low of a priority because I kind of want at least a couple haulers. And I'm just going to pause that to reduce the number of vacancies that we have. What's that guy's name? Okay. I'm not even going to ask. Yes, I definitely think we found a little bit of a bug here. As you can see, that levee still isn't built, but we have everything around it built. So I think that might be a little bit of a bug. Granted, I don't need that one built. Um, it's only there to support that one, so it's not a huge issue. Now, this getting built up might be an issue, so let's go ahead and lower those since we are now going to have some water flow through there. As you can see, we have gotten some of these gone, not all. Same over here. We're still waiting on a couple more of these to get demolished. But I think with at least 3 gone, we'll be okay for the first bad tide that comes through. Whether it comes through in the next 3 days is going to be the question. Drought. Okay. We will be safe. I will bring you guys back at the next one. Actually, I think we're going to go ahead and leave this episode here. Thank you for watching, and please feel free, like, subscribe. You know the drill. Leave some messages. Tell me what I'm doing right. Telling me what I'm doing wrong. Um, and yeah, I'll get back to you with the next one. Thank you again. Bye.